More money for APD reforms, a Bosque trail that a lot of people are talking about, good and bad, and finding himself right in the middle of an April Fool's Day prank. It's been a busy time for Albuquerque's mayor. Here this morning to cover it all is Mayor R.J. Berry. Thank you so much for joining us.
Good morning.
You know, I know that you're heading off to the funeral services for one of your officers, so I really want to thank you for coming out and spending this time with us.
Our hearts are heavy today.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Our
we'll be at Officer Kelly's funeral this morning, and so we just ask everybody to pray for his family and join us as we grieve today and honor his legacy.
Right. Our thoughts and prayers go out to his family as well this morning. Let's start with your proposed budget. Yeah. You just sent it off to City Council. Has not been approved yet, but there are key issues there for APD reforms. Sure. More than $4 million set aside for that. Yes. How do you think that money will be used?
Well, in a lot of ways. First of all, the budget's balanced. Structurally balanced, no tax increases, no fee increases, social services are held whole. It's a good budget, it's solid, it gives the council something to start with. The APD money will go towards the monitor, it will go towards training for our police officers, accountability measures, it'll go to some of the hardware and software that we need to implement some of the new changes as far as the internal investigations and things go. So it will be money well spent in my opinion, and it will help our officers do a better job, and it'll also involve community engagement because we have a lot of things going on with the community, and we want to make sure those are fully funded as well.
And this is more money than last year that was spent on APD.
It is. This is about in the middle of where we thought it might be. We thought it might be in the $4 to $6 million range. This is 4.7. We anticipate over time that will continue to drop. Over the next couple of years. The monitoring costs should continue to drop. Once we train our officers, for example, on crisis intervention, that training is done for that officer. That won't have to be repeated at the same level until several years down the road. So once again, it'll start higher and then it'll drop as we go, we hope.
This is really just to get the ball rolling.
Well, this is full-blown implementation. I mean, we're really trying to get ahead of the curve on this, and we want to be one of these cities that really does this the right way. We can honor our officers, respect them at the same time that we ask them to put reforms into place, and we just want to make sure that funding is not the issue here. Okay,
and you're also asking for $2 million for incentive pay for APD officers. Yes. The reason being there, you've made it known that you really want to keep veteran officers on the force. The police union, they're saying that it's not going to help, though. What do you think about that?
Oh, it absolutely is helping. In fact, we have 150 officers that are eligible for retirement in the next several years. Last year, when we put this in place and the City Council was kind enough to put the funding there for us, we had a number of officers stay. So we know it works. We know that we have a robust recruitment effort to get new recruits into the academy, but we also know that we need to keep those seasoned officers, that experience, whether they're taking calls for service in a police car every day or whether they're in leadership. We need that experience in our department. With a 20-year retirement that New Mexico has for law enforcement, we have police officers retiring very, very young, sometimes in their late 30s, early 40s. That's really the folks that we want to keep on board as well as recruit new officers.
Do you think it's been pretty challenging for the city to recruit new officers and better trained officers?
Yeah, all over the country. I mean, we have other cities in Albuquerque recruiting our officers to go to Colorado, to go to Texas. It's kind of nationally, it's almost getting to where people are just trying to get officers from other departments. It's a difficult time to attract police officers around the nation, and we're no exception. We have 883 officers on the force yesterday is when I checked. We are authorized for 1,000. We had a bill at the state legislature that died in Senate Judiciary that would have helped us to bring some of our retired workers back. That did not get through, and because of that, we're having to take some other actions. But we'll keep pushing, and we want to make sure that public safety remains a priority.
Speaking of state lawmakers, we're going to switch gears a little bit here. State lawmakers have asked for a trail all the way down the Rio Grande. You've really kind of started a Bosque trail here, but it's not been met with just open arms. Some people have been in opposition to this, saying they don't want it. Now you want to extend it to Montaño. What do you say to that?
People are loving it. I got a tweet last week from a woman that said, I just got done rolling the Bosque. And what she meant was she was down there in her wheelchair, enjoying the Bosque, getting next to the river. Makes me feel good because people are very happy about it. Not without controversy. Nothing really ever is anymore. But I love the idea. I think it was Representative Jeff Steinborn from Las Cruces that initially put this bill forward in the legislature to bring a 500-mile trail through New Mexico, like the Appalachian Trail. Think about that. Love the idea. Would love to be part of working with our friends in the legislature. I think the governor came out in support of that as well. And New Mexico is a wonderful place. And the more we can attract people here to enjoy the great outdoors that we enjoy every day, the better for us, the better for our children, the better for future generations. And it just really, I had somebody send me an email the other day. They said, hey, Mayor, way to go. We actually have a river walk that's not full of T-shirt shops. And, it's a real river walk. And so I'm I'm happy about it.
You're happy with?
And I think our citizens, and so we'll look at extending it to Montano.
Okay.
That's probably as much as I can get done while I'm the mayor, and we have funding in place to do that. We'll get with the community and make sure we get the planning done. And there are folks that will never like the idea, but
right.
for the most part, I think the last survey I saw, 70% of the people thought it was a good idea. So we'll keep moving on it.
So you feel that you have enough, I guess the majority, that are in favor of this project?
We get a lot of support for it, yeah. Some
okay.
of the folks that aren't are very vocal. And we understand that, and that's like other issues that we deal with, but we'll respect their opinions, we'll bring them to the table, get their input, but at the end of the day, we want to do what we think is best, because if we don't do anything in the Bosque, what our environmental reports tell us is, we'll kill it with kindness. We need to manage it. It's a managed environment. We need to make it sustainable. And I'm really trying to bring the next generation of stewards up to love the Bosque and take care of it after our time in service is gone. And we'll have an internship program this summer where we'll bring 20 local students down to help us do some restoration, plant new trees, get rid of some invasive species. So it's a much larger project than just a trail. That got all the controversy, but it's really a stewardship project to take care and hand it off better than we found it.
Okay, we're going to switch gears here again. We're going to end on a light note this morning. We're going to talk about the prank. You were pranked yesterday, April Fool's Day prank, saying that you, I guess, made an announcement about a $5 million bike lane project. You're going to paint the lanes turquoise.
Well, when I first saw it, I thought, well, because next week I think we're going to be doing our first of the 50-mile bike loop legs. We're going to go from Nob Hill to Uptown. I'm a big bike fan. We are going to add more bike trails. This is already a great bike city. So when I saw the tweet, like, way to go, Mayor Barry, on the buffered trails, I was like, are they talking about the other thing? So I was a little confused, and then we got a phone call from one of our staffers that said, where are we going to get the money for this? And so we started looking into it. We pretty quickly understood it was a prank.
Right.
But anyway.
And they wanted to bring attention to, bike paths.
It's a great biking city. We're trying to improve it every single day. It's been a priority for the administration. The buffered, bike lane idea is a good one, but it was a prank. And but we do have a new bike plan that we just put out last year for the city of Albuquerque. We've got hundreds and hundreds of miles of trails. We always want to make it better because it's one of the things that makes us stand out, and it's one of the reasons that we're one of the healthiest and fittest cities in America.
Well, I want to thank you so much for joining us this morning. If there's anything that the constituents have any concerns, can they reach you or reach one of your staffers?
Absolutely, 768-3000, or you can just go on the CABQ website, or please download the 311 app. We're trying to get people. You can report graffiti. You can reach me with a touch of your thumb on your smartphone, or the city council. So download the 311 app. That's a great way to do it. Or call us 768-3000.
All right. Thanks so much, Mayor.
Thank you.
You bet. Again, if you want a recap of what we just talked about this morning, go to our website krqe.com, and we'll be right back. Stay there.